this is actually I had a teachable moment take place in this video series where I have this outfit on, which is that so I've said that some people have appreciated that if you actually have experienced living with someone who's a comedian. I actually had my best friend. I've had a couple best friends in life, like a few best friends in childhood, but the person who taught me how to ride a bicycle as a young boy, and then we had a lot. We were very close, like from middle school, the end of elementary, all the way into early adulthood. We were actually associated. We were so close, is that people couldn't have the idea of one of us without the other. So you couldn't, anywhere I go, what's up with such and such? And I haven't seen someone, or someone hasn't seen the two of us, and I haven't seen that person in 5 and 10 years. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, what's up, man? That's you. Where the hell is such and such? What's such and such up to? Oh yeah, man, because I heard about such and such. They even forgot they were talking to my ass because I'm so associated with that other person. But that person had been a comedian, and I learned, I got a lot of strength and a lot of lessons from that person. But also it was very very challenging and very hard, frankly, to be that person's friend, because something of me is that I'm very forgiving, like even a little bit past where it serves me, because once I have bonded with someone as a friend, I can't not appreciate them as a friend or not forgive them if they come to me in good faith. So many times me and him had just about knock them down, drag them out, duke out fights up when different people I would bring into our friend group would be around, and then like around like some of his family and stuff, and people actually couldn't understand like how I would tolerate or forgive him for some of that stuff. But I forgive and forgive again had been me for a long time. But at a certain point, certain things are actually egregious enough to let you know that how someone really feels about you in a way that you can't overlook, even if you wanted to. And for me, that came with a romantic partner. Is that it was him and another friend that I was very close with, and we got into like a little bit of an intrigue that could neatly fit on a soap opera. And not more so I didn't get into it, but that's what took place about me, where I had like a little bit of a dark fan club where like people just like having meetings and having parties, celebrating my shortcomings, or at least celebrating my non-participation there, and maybe mocking me sometimes when I was there, and likely when I wasn't there. And that's very heavy stuff, but that's enough to put an end to forgiving people. Just not that you don't not love them, but just that you can't play with stuff like that. So that person came back across my path a couple times, and I had been friendly, but it doesn't take too long for the same stuff to take place. And then we had an opportunity to engage again, because that person was on the phone with a family member of mine, like maybe 5 years ago, and I didn't even hop up on the phone. I was like, yeah, I've been working on homework right now, so I can't talk right now, and so I wasn't even trying to engage that. And I think that likely had I hopped up on that phone, we would have had some stupid conversation, and it would have got to arguing, and it might have changed how I went about things, and I might not have got on to some of the experiences that I've had that have let me be who I am. So when it's done, it's done. And I think that it's good to put our foot down about stuff. But that person had been a comedian, and it's appreciated that comedians are very profound people to experience, redeeming and enlightening. But also there's a darkness that goes with that. I bumped into another friend of ours that we had been close with, like the three of us were together sometimes. And that person was a little bit older than me, and they were giving me a perspective about like what that time was like and some of the things that were going on when I wasn't hanging out. And then I appreciated talking to them that maybe, but they still couldn't get past that person's humor. Is that they were actually, if you've actually met people that, one way that you know that people are in love or have been in love is that you see them 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, and they can't get a person's name out of their mouth or the idea of that person out of their head for more than a minute or two. At all times, they're completely overwhelmed by their experience of that person. That may be something of love that they experienced. But so I was pointing out that, but they couldn't get past that person's humor in the good moments. But then they're also talking about like how there was like some really like heavy, like just like off stuff that, like, for example, like dating someone, and then they show up like any given moment just for the hell of it, when their ass should be having work to do or should be going to bed or something like that, just stuff like that. But then I was saying that, you know, maybe that's actually just the balance of life, is that for a person to be that, because that person was really lighthearted, and that person, if you had like some real heavy stuff on your hand, like stuff you didn't know how to deal with, like stuff that was emotionally beating you down near about to the point of quitting, man, he can make you laugh at some stuff, man. Like whoever gave you a problem like that, he could mock them. He can mock people well. He can really mock people well. So whatever problem you had in life, he can mock that problem. If you have a problem with him, he can mock himself, you, the two of you, and whatever problem, there's never been a problem that he couldn't laugh at and have you laugh at it enough to forget about yourself. And that might be the redemption of humor, is to forget about yourself just for that moment. And a lot of times he would have that. I had one time so he would do like crazy egregious stuff. Like when we were little, we had this game called like Hide the Switch. That was before a switch. That was in the 90s. There was no reference for like the actual whip. A switch referred to like a whip. And so from Africa and America. But so that was a game played in Africa, was Hide the Switch. But now in the United States, I've pointed out that some of our fascination and the effect of weapons, firearms, it amounts to like an actual whip in society, and it keeps people in check and nobody from getting too uppity or too full of themselves or too feeling themselves, just like a whip would in the past. But actually civilians have it, and law enforcement has it, and everyone has it. Homeowners have it. Everyone has a damn weapon now. So it's like the switch is ready to go at all times. But there'd be this game, we play this game like Hide the Switch, and then also like hide and go seek in the dark. Like I lived in a house on a campus with like a dark basement, and my brother, I won't say my brother's full name, but I'll just say something that rhymes with it. And so we'd go like to the bottom of there'd be like the stairwell to a basement, and you had to hide there. But he would search in the dark. But he actually already had limited vision. He was visually deprived from a condition, but he could still ride bikes with the best. I don't know nobody colder on a bike than him. But he'd go to the bottom of the stairs, and I won't say my brother's full name, but he would be like, he would go to the bottom and say, "Hey, please come to the bottom of the stairs right now. I need you to the bottom of the stairs. Come here now. I need you to come here now. Come to the bottom. Please come to the bottom of the stairs. I come here to the bottom of the stairs." He would say like, it was funny as hell how he would say it, and my brother would be like, and like sometimes we'd be at a movie theater, like, and there'd be like something that you shouldn't laugh at, like something like really like something like really wicked or mean would happen to like one of the characters, and he'd be like, like when something really hella wicked happened, he would laugh like that. And then one time I was visiting my friend in the Southwest, and we were at a movie, and I actually copied that, like something like hellified happened in the movie. I was like, and my friend actually fell out laughing, like violently laughing, and he couldn't stop laughing for 20 minutes. He actually could not stop laughing for 20 minutes. He was beside himself laughing for 20 minutes because I had imitated my friend. That's how cold my friend was with humor. But he was a lot of experiences with him were really dark, and as much as he was like about humor and stuff, he would like these really like dark movies, like dark ass movies that were just like weird. Like him and I would always be somewhere trying to walk into a movie. We'd go to a movie theater, we'd pay for different things including popcorn, but then we'd find ourselves in a film that was maybe different than what a ticket might say. And we would like always decide who was gonna pick what movie, and he would always pick these dark, weird ass movies. So like when the movie Training Day came out, I found myself in Training Day, and and he was off watching some weird ass movie, some dark ass movie that you'd have to be a little bit dark to just appreciate or have interest in that movie. Not necessarily violent or mean or bad, but just like weird and dark is like what he was into. But I meant to say that actually might speak to the paradox of living with someone, which is humor, is that as something goes up, it must come down. For what goes up must go down. For a laugh there may be a cry, according to Osho. That's why traditionally human mothers, when children start getting too giddy and too giggly and too happy, a mother specifically will have an instinct to tone it down, because they know they're about to break something, or they're about to hurt themselves or someone, or do something stupid. Not stupid, but nothing children do are stupid because it's all learning. But they may do something foolish or reckless when they start getting too happy, too giggly. That might be what it is to be a comedian, because as soon as you land a joke, it may be inevitably a part of you landing that joke is for you to somewhere along the line, the confidence that comes from that, the momentum, inertia that comes from you landing a joke might actually amount to imminently, as you landed that joke, to you sticking your foot in your mouth around somewhere else. So I actually hopped on a motorcycle with this video, and I was like, yeah, here's a real proper video, tapping in for a vehicle, but I don't look half-assed by doing it inside of a car, even a well-to-do car. But then I take myself a few feet over, so I'm not parked out on the highway, the street, to do a video. And then to the homeowner comes up, hey, is everything all right? Did you break the hell down, or what the hell are you doing in front of my house? So that's just the cycle.